Okay, so one new thing we have to start considering now when we look at a piece of music is how a chord is functioning. Now, what that means is kind of like what is its role? What is it doing in context? So, let's hear this one more time and then we'll talk about it. Okay, so in the context of this little ditty, is this functioning like a one chord, meaning tonic? Remember, tonic is home, it's where we can stop. So if I play this and stop here, does it feel like tonic? Does it feel like the end? Let's try it. Does that feel like the end? It kind of doesn't. It doesn't to me. Even though it is a tonic chord, it's a tonic chord in a 6/4 inversion, which is not entirely settling because we have a 5 in the bass. So it's functioning like a 5 chord. Even though all the notes are correct to be a tonic chord, it feels like a 5. And then it resolves to a 5. So that really makes it feel like it's functioning like a 5. So this idea of function it's a bit subjective, right? I could hear it one way, you could hear it another way. And this is where theory starts to get open to some interpretation. These are the kinds of things that you argue about in graduate school. You say, well, it's a tonic 6/4 chord, and someone else says, no, it's a 1 chord. And you both might be right. Not really in that example, because that example can be pretty clear and there's not much to argue about. Once you get more into more advanced stuff, things become debatable, right? And this is kind of our first foray into that, into looking at music theory from a more subjective lens. Like, what is going on around it? What is the context? So in this context, this D, F sharp, A business is functioning like a 5 chord. It's doing the job of a 5 chord. And we call that chord function, right? This D, F sharp, A is functioning like a 1 chord, right? Because it feels like tonic. Right? That could be the end. And that's totally okay. It would be a very, 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 very short piece. But it could be the end. That's tonic. And it feels like tonic and it's acting like tonic. But this one at the end, that all feels like a 5 chord and is acting like a 5 chord. So that's function. We're going to talk more about function as we get into this class a little bit more. So this is just kind of an introduction on it. Let's continue, talk a little bit more about this 5/6/4 business.